big goanna when we were after, you know, like we camped up out the Willows, just down the road, because it used to be a dirt track, obviously, you know, back then when we were kids always. The worst kids would take off and go walking down this dirt track, back down the road where we drove in, because there was this great big hollowed out tree stump, and inside this big hollowed out tree stump lived this massive goanna. You should have seen the size of him. My God, he was huge. And every time us kids would come walking down the road, we'd be looking for him, right? And every time when we got closer, he'd poke his head out and he'd chase us, and we would just run, fly back up there, because I'm pretty sure we tormented him as much as he wanted to bite us. And down the corner of where we lived, there used to be a street light, like an old one, and every time, like, we used to always look out our louvers, that same window where that little girl is, but we'd always look out, and we were always up there looking out late at night all the time, like we were just little kids just staring out these windows. And anyway, we looked down at this light, and every time, because Dad and Mum used to notice us, you know, looking out the window and that, they'd say to us, keep looking out those windows and those little blue and green men will get yous, like down at the corner. I swear to God, now no word of a lie, I saw them one night, because it was always like around midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, I swear to God, I saw them one night under this light down the corner of our street. This is called Sacred Ground. So this is about my resting place, like out bush, out on country, where I've spent countless years out there, digging and stuff. And this is me, like, still in body form, because I'm not crossing over. When I die, I'm not crossing over. I'm staying here to look after country, where I have so much love being. That's my connection with my parents out there. Bundaberg's not. It's out here where I've spent so much time with my parents. So this is about me, like, you know, protecting the land, and like, this is all the ridges and stuff, you know, that's me going everywhere, making sure that the land is all safe. And then in the afternoon, in night time, I'll be resting and connecting. I'll be talking and yarning with my family that have passed over into the dream time. So the spirits of my family that have already passed over, but I'm not going to. I'm staying here in a different spirit form where I don't cross over. So I'll be there. You know, that's why that's called Sacred Ground. That's where I will be resting for the rest of my life, protecting country that I love. This is about my line, continuing on with my daughters and continuing on with my grandchildren. So you can see, like, you know, the blood's gone through me, going into my daughters. That's my youngest daughter who had 2 children, the middle daughter who had 3 children, and the eldest daughter who had 3 children. And then, like, the hands represent my grandkids. If you notice, there's like 16 little hands on there, and their footprints, so it'll follow on through them and so on in their journeys. This is about a woman who has worked so hard through the day. She's done so much. She's absolutely spent. She's drained. And this is at the end of her days, like countless days I've spent out in the bush digging so hard. And it's where you become one with yourself. It's like you just sit there. It's like when I've gotten out of the hole and just sat up on top of the hole under this big tree. The gum trees are always dug, and you just sit there and you go to another place. You are so, like, it's kind of like you're so at ease with yourself. You're just resting. It's your time. It's like it's different. It's a totally different feeling. You know, you're just sitting there looking into the afternoon sunset, and you're at one with yourself. It's a different place a lady goes to.